Hey everybody, welcome to today's video where I'm going to draw a T-Rex. So as always, I like to start with a line. So this is basically a line of action. And yeah, you can always change this during the process, but I start with something like this. It's a little bit like the amateur. It also follows the spine. But now let's start with drawing a ball for the head and the torso. So I'm using these really basic shapes. For when I'm drawing a character, I'm often using circles or basically a sphere like this. If I'm adding these guides, you get these 3D shapes. And sometimes I'm using cubes and cylinders. So with these three shapes, I can draw basically anything I want. So once I have these shapes, I can start drawing in the rest. So maybe a big the mouth. So and you can help me out a lot by liking this video and also by subscribing if you like to see more videos. So I'm making this a bit wider, like this here. And then we're going to make the tail some maybe tiny bit shorter. So something like this here. But I'm still trying to follow this flow. So that's why I also like to start with these big shapes because that helps with the overall feeling. And then I can start drawing details on top of this. So here we have this claw here, and then this other one. So here, and this one like this here, or maybe like this here. And then we can draw in the legs. So here, this here, and then here this part. And then here this here. And then here we have this part here. And then here this feet here. Um, Maybe I want to make this one bigger. And of course, when you're doing this on paper, you need to redo that part a bit, erasing it softly. And so I think I also want to make this head a bit bigger. So I'm making this cartoon version, so I mean, we can make it all, yeah, crazy. So once I have these shapes, I'm softly erasing the drawing. And then on top of this, we can start drawing the head. So if this is this ball, I can draw a line here in the middle. So then I can figure out where this eye is going to be like. So this can be rough. So something like this, trying to find a cool shape. And drawing this eye here, and then this part here, and then we have this line here, and then I can drawing this line here. Let's see, and then we can draw this peak here. So a bit here, and then here. So I want to make it a little bit 3D-ish. So this here, this mouth. So I think I want to have this eye a little bit smaller. So something like this here. Also this side. So you can keep changing things until you have something you like. Zoom in, zoom out, and we can always go back later and change things. So here, then here this mouth. How big do I want to make this be? So here, this jaw, something like this here. So now I'm thinking maybe I made it all a bit too big. So sometimes you need to progress a little bit to really be able to tell if you like it or not. So here, having this part here, and what I sometimes also like to do is making, yeah, rotating it, and then you can see how this works. Yeah, I think this would work a bit better. So here, this mouth open, and then this jaw here. Yeah, I think this part needs to be a bit smaller. So something like this here. This can be a bit wide, like this here. And then here we can have this. So this is this 3D shape here. So I'm always trying to think in these 3D shapes. So I'm just being rough. It's a bit like sculpting. You're changing these shapes a little bit, seeing what works and not. Now let's start drawing the rest, and we can always go back to fix the head again. So here we have this part. This goes in here, and then we have this shape going here. And the chest. So there's some basic anatomy. So here. And then here this part, like this here. Then we have these little arms. So I think something like this here and this here. This goes up here. And then we can draw in these nails. And then also here this side. And this overlapping line here in front. And going here. And then we can continuing this part, making this line here. And this line goes like this here. So here we have this big leg, like this here, the knee. And then here we have this leg going like this here, and this part. And then we can sketch in here these shapes for the toes. The shape here, going up here. Then we have this part here. And then we have this shape here. And then here we can have these toes like this here. So then this part can go up here. And then this one here, this here, and this knee like this. And then we have the tail. So going like this. And here. So, and then you can decide if you like the shape or not. Yeah, and I think I like it. So I will again erase it. Not, I think I'm not going to ink it for this video, but I will make uh, a rough final version. So here, let's quickly draw it here. So keeping these lines rough, drawing this eye here, and this one here, this going to this spot. Then we have this line like this here. And then, yeah, just trying to find some nice lines. So here it is from cheek, basically, like this here. Yeah, I think I do like this direction. Some line here. So I like these overlapping lines. What I mean is that you have this open part. So these all feels connected, right? But you can still see the depth of all the parts. But you see that it's all connected by the skin with the structure of the skeleton beneath it. That's why it's useful to know some anatomy about structure. So here are some cool lines. So I'm always trying to find some nice lines. So with these curvature, these S shape, this always works really nice. So here we get these big teeth. So here, then this line here, and then we have these big sharp teeth here, going here, this one here, and then this here, small one here, and then connecting these parts here, and then this part here. Then we have this, maybe there's a tongue. You only see a little bit of it. Maybe small teeth here, and drawing this line through it. Then something like this here, with this overlapping line. And then here also overlapping line. So this could be a sketch, and then over on top of it, you can make the final smooth lines or no lines and really ink it. So here we have then this, and then we can draw in here the shape here, and then here these parts, these lines here. So even if you just study human anatomy, that will help with understanding how bones are connecting. Even when dinosaurs are really different, there are some similarities with the bones. It's really interesting when you learn the human body and then look at animals and other and see the differences. It would be really cool to look at these things in museums and stuff and see how it's all connected. So here we have this muscle of this chest, like this here, going here, and this open, and then here we can erase these lines, and then we can have this overlapping line here, and then here, and here we have these lines, and then so I do think the head is really big, but yeah, it's fine. And then we can draw in here these parts, connecting these lines. Small thin line here. So I have these big shapes and outer shapes. So this is an outer shape, but it's also a big shape. These I gave the widest thickness with lines. And smaller shapes like here, these wrinkles give thinner. So here, this tail, I think I'm going to make something like this. Here I'm thinking in boxes. So here, and eventually you would remove this line, right? Like this here. Here, this nail shape is going like this here. We have the shape here, the shape up, and then here. Then we have this part here. And then here this shape. And then this shape here. And then this shape. Come down here. And then this line going down here. Sorry. And then we can draw another shape here. And this is basically the same as inking, only for the inking I would make some more time trying to find the perfect lines. So here, and some line here, this here. And of course we have the tail. Some interesting shapes. And then there's also a small thin line, the top. It's going like this, so you have some interesting shape there. So we could add some uh, texture spots. So here and here. Usually I work with the rule of three. So thinking about three shapes in different sizes, small, big, medium. And you can play around with some spots you can do too. But usually I look for three shapes. Example here, one big, one small, one medium. That makes it look, it's the most easy way to make it look natural. So here, small dot. If you only do one spot, it looks a little bit weird. So here, maybe here on this arm. So if you want to see the whole video of a finished piece, I would recommend you check out my ebook and video bundle about drawing animals, where I go much more in depth with more examples, also a whole chapter about dinos. So here, and drawing in all these different dots. So you can also take more time for it. So here, same here, also on the tail, being random. But you see, I work with these groups for these dots. Here, another one like this here, and a small dot here, and then a spot here, and then here, dot here, small spot here, and then we have this dot here. So like these spots here. Like this here. And we can also color this dino. A bit, making it a bit darker. Oh, I can make these spots on multiply. So you got these darker tones there. So here, I think I want to make this side so like this. So you have that belly side. You see some white spots, right? Also with these nails. Of course, you can also use this with color. So this is going to still be being sketchy. So here, side here, So yeah, you can even do this on paper. That's totally fine. That's a really good way to learn how to draw because you can zoom in and all these things. Although it's really useful, it's also a little bit of a trick, and you learn a lot about yeah if you can do those things. So if you're working on paper or not, it really doesn't matter that much because yeah, on paper that's also how I learned to draw actually. But if you're working on your iPad or something, that's also fine. So here, I think I'm going to leave it for now like this. So this is how I would draw a dinosaur. Yeah, try to yeah draw this step by step. Yeah, you can also check out my ebook How to Draw Animals. And there I have a chapter about drawing dinosaurs and but also other things like aliens, but also normal and animals. And I'm also giving tips about yeah all these fundamental tips about drawing. So if you want to learn how to draw, it's really useful. You can use the discount code welcome for the 30% discount. And yeah, if you like this video, yeah, like and subscribe. That will help me making more. So I hope you like this, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Next. So thanks everyone for watching my video, and I hope to see you next week. Bye bye.